Obscura Nocte presents In the Presence of the Enemy by Robert McKinnon, starring Lance Hawkins.
I always imagined those last few minutes of her being near me. She's in the upstairs bedroom, asleep on the spare bed. Her eyes snap open. She makes her way across the room and looks out the window at the forests surrounding our house. Maybe her eyes were attracted to the bright fairy lights that we had decorated the bush along the road with. The bulbs hanging between branches, entwined between leaves. Perhaps the fairy lights began to flicker, blink, and turn off. Maybe a strong wind began to blow. Did she hear a roaring, a rumbling? Through the sky over the top of the canopy came the lights, flashing. A large circular shape drifts into view, large metal windows, long arches. What are her thoughts? Did she recognize it as a flying saucer, a UFO? She backs away from the window, but it's too late. A long, blinding beam of light shoots from the night sky into her bedroom. Her ears full of the grinding engines, and her body went blank, and her breath was taken away. My name is Phillipa Longleat, and my wife Phillipa was abducted by aliens. My wife is missing. She definitely went upstairs to bed.
Police interview commencing at 2:30 a.m. You say you last saw her after you had an argument. Where is your wife, Damien? Phillipa Longleat, you are under arrest under suspicion of the disappearance of your wife.
A 25-year-old man has been arrested. A horrible crime that is shocked. The case will reach the court this week.
The case for the prosecution will commence. You may question the accused.
That man is guilty of killing his poor innocent wife.
The jury has ruled not guilty.
I don't care what the jury ruled. He killed his wife. That's that murderer man. Let's finish him.
Please listen to me. They're targeting me.
Unfortunately, there's really no evidence to charge them for assault.
You killed Phillipa, and there's no denying it.
But that's just it. I didn't kill her. I did not kill Phillipa Longleat. I stared around the public house, glass held tight in my hands. It was a stone building filled with swinging light bulbs and old faded paintings on the walls. Everyone sat on the other side of the bar from me, as they always had since Phillipa left. As I finished my glass, banging it down on the table, the door swung open and in came a crowd that I had prayed wouldn't come in tonight. Matthias, Dollard and his gang. As soon as they entered, I felt their gazes shift onto me.
Hey boys, look, it's Damien. What are you doing, drinking your grief away? Ah, come. He's never felt grief for Phillipa, not since he killed her.
I did not kill Phillipa!
Tell that to her grave, wherever in that forest it is.
Do not say that!
Leave, get out, back to your hovel, where I hope your face rots in guilt.
It was a pretty regular occurrence for me to be attacked by Matthias and his gang, as well as others. People who feel that I am responsible for Phillipa's death. But I am not. I believed that she was abducted by aliens. And I have proof. Sudden wild weather, sounds of something breaking the atmosphere, radar images of a large circular object, security camera footage of strange lights. But even though I had all this evidence, no one believed me. So when I walked home that night, through the forest and fog, listening to the tree branches collide with each other, creating a rhythm like a drum beat, the distant sounds of industry creating strange, ethereal, echoing, humming sounds, I thought about Phillipa, and how ever since she disappeared from this world 12 years ago, I had been searching the skies, looking, waiting for this UFO. At the top of the hill I saw a house. It was a small cottage that looked almost ramshackle. It was covered in vines and shrubs, giving it an almost unkempt look. In the row of bushes that ran up our street were the fairy lights we had installed, still shining in the dark, illuminating the way. When I went inside, I went straight up to the upstairs room, the room where Phillipa had been abducted. I looked out the window, but something was wrong. My eyes were drawn to the bushes outside. The fairy lights outside were blinking, on, off, until they were all dead. The area was plunged into darkness. Outside, the wind began to blow. The bushes and trees began waving wildly, thrashing around like they were trying to escape. At the edge of my hearing, I could vaguely hear something low, distant and droning. Over the top of the canopy came a massive light. I brought my hands up to my face to shield my eyes. The large UFO rolled over the top of the forest and stopped right above the house. Its large searchlight moving over the area. A long beam of light shot from the UFO and hit the window. It smashed into thousands of small shards that bounced over the bed. The light consumed me and I screamed. I felt myself being taken to another place. And I was gone. I opened my eyes and felt like I was a bullet in a gun, shooting through the air at an incredible speed. Oh, I felt so dizzy, so disoriented. I remembered what had happened. I had found the UFO. I had found the thing that abducted Phillipa all those years ago. What if Phillipa was here somewhere? I was in some corridor that looked to be made completely of silver. I walked through the mist that was stained by red lights. I knew that there must be life aboard this vessel. Extraterrestrial life. In front of me were filthy sheets of plastic dangling from the ceiling. They were dripping with condensation of the water, pooling on the floor. I looked behind me, my instincts telling me that someone was there, but the only thing that greeted my vision was the cold steam and shadows. Holding my breath, I took a step into the plastic sheets. The water dripped onto my freezing skin and I shivered, my arms folding, my shoulders cringing. The plastic sheet flopped from my shoulder and reverted back to its original hanging position. I walked through the next plastic sheet, the only object in my thoughts, Phillipa's blossoming smile. Phillipa felt so far away in this terrible place. But at the same time, she was so close. The light beyond the plastic flared. The rays breaking away at angles so perfect my brain couldn't process it. Even though I couldn't see her, I knew she was there. I was going to see Phillipa. The great light bent and reached out for me. It clambered down the walls towards me, overwhelming every sense. Phillipa was not here. And then I felt the metal hand on my shoulder. And barely had time to see the golden glove on my neck before... When I awoke, I was in some kind of control room. The walls lined with computers and instruments, flashing and blinking all in time. I could hear the hissing of gas and the sporadic groan of engines as they tried to force the UFO onwards through the stars. Standing over me was a figure. It appeared to be a humanoid wearing complete metal armor. All over the suit were small spines. The face was a blank mask. I couldn't tell whether the beast was organic or robotic. Through the mist, I saw another 3 identical figures working at the computers. Who are you? What did you do with my wife?
We are the pilot gods of Laondra. We are not of your universe. We cross between universes in an attempt to save yours.
What did you do with Phillipa? Why did you take her?
We come from a universe where a great war was started on the planet Earth. It ravaged the entire planet and then spread through 7 billion worlds. Our universe is in a state of collapse. The war was started by the President of Earth.
Another universe? But what do we have to do with it?
Back in our universe, you and Phillipa's child was the President. They led the battle. We are going to save this universe from the war. It will never happen here if we destroy the catalyst.
So, you abducted Phillipa to stop this war. Why did you come back for me?
We were intending on abducting both parents, but we failed, only retrieving Phillipa. We recently reached the decision to come back for you. Therefore, our mission is complete.
But it was wrong to take Phillipa. You trying to avert a war, you say, but these 12 years of hell and grief!
But it was necessary. It stopped a terrible war.
What did you do with Phillipa? Did you kill her?
No.
Then where is she? Tell me! The pilot god turned around and faced the only wall in the control room that was not covered in instruments.
Raise the panel.
I was so afraid. I had no idea what they were going to show me, whether Phillipa was alive or dead. I stared at the wall as it began to slide upwards into the ceiling, revealing a large glass cabinet.
There is Phillipa.
It was Phillipa. Some of her. Her skeleton was standing up, aided by electrodes and wires attached to every bone. Phillipa! What have you done to her? Why did you do this to her?
She was in suspended animation to keep her alive, but our technology was not suited to your human biology. She decomposed against our wishes.
I've been waiting for 12 years, and all this time she was rotting around some bloody UFO. Why did you kill her?
We did not kill her. She is still alive. The electrodes on her head are still emitting a life force.
Can't you see? She's dead! I don't know what came over me. Anger, grief, frustration. I ran at the glass cabinet, throwing my body against the glass surface as hard as I could. The glass smashed, shards and crystals flying everywhere. I stared at the skeleton, all that remained of my beautiful wife, the wife for whom I had grieved for 12 years, and the skeleton looked back at me. It opened its jaw and screamed. A terrible grating sound that resonated through the control room. I stepped back, shaking. The skeleton looked like it was falling, but it was all wrong. The bones flew upwards, still in humanoid form, as if it was still encased in flesh. The pilot gods scattered, abandoning their instruments and fleeing for the door. But Phillipa was too quick for them. She dived down and bit into one. The armour breaking, flesh and blood erupted from the wound. I stood in the middle of the room, unable to move. The last pilot god fled the room alive. It was now only me. Phillipa's skull twitched from side to side, looking in every corner of the room. She must have seen me, for she screamed again and died, the skeleton reaching for me. Phillipa! You have to listen to me! I mean you no harm!
I'm so cold, so dark, so lost.
No, Philly.
Fairy lights.
Philly, tell me it's you.
Fairy lights. We put fairy lights in the bushes, didn't we? You used to call me Philly, didn't you, Damien?
Yes, I did.
You would call me that when we spoke of the children we would have. You told me I was the most attractive woman in the universe, that I was the one who you'll be with till death do you part.
Yes!
You told me you loved me. You told me lots of things. Like when you told me I was useless. Like when you said I would make a terrible mother. That I was a disgrace of a wife.
No!
Yes! You said that the last time I saw you. You said you wished you hadn't married me.
But Philly, I love you. I love you. Listen! They all thought I killed you!
Maybe you did kill me.
But I didn't. How can I have? It was those things that killed you!
If you hadn't said those terrible things, then I wouldn't have been in that upstairs bedroom to get abducted. That means that you killed me, Damien.
I could never kill you. I love you too much.
I love you too, Damien. Even though you said those every moment for the last 12 years, I have thought of you constantly, even though it hurt to think. I love you, Damien. You killed me, but I loved you.
You can't be a murderer. I know I killed you, but you can't be like me. You have to be better than me.
How can I be better than you, Damien? I am dead.
Maybe we should both be dead.
Would you do that to yourself?
I died 12 years ago when you were taken from me. I'm already dead. Like you, so let's go, eh? Together this time. Because maybe when the dead die, they become alive again.
Let yourself go, Damien, and the life force will be drained from you.
And then, as we were in the tightest of embraces, she must have done something, for our bodies began slipping away, our souls escaping into the stars, and we were no more, and yet together, and we shall remain together, exploring the depths of space, observing the cosmic fairy lights, once more together.
In the Presence of the Enemy was written and directed by Robert McKinnon. Damien Longleat was played by Lance Hawkins. The policeman was played by Zain Steele. The journalist was played by Blake Patterson. The judge was played by Isaac Newman. The bereaved was played by Amelia Hall. Matthias was played by Peter Bryan. Pilot gods of Laondra were played by Robert McKinnon. Phillipa Longleat was played by Shakina Vaipulu. Obscure and Update Productions. Copyright Robert McKinnon 2019. Thanks for listening.